Start to notice your breath. And as you notice your breath, see if you can start to deepen it, just slowly, increasing your inhale and lengthening your exhale. Let your awareness stay here on your breath. If your mind starts to wander, just acknowledge your thoughts and then let them go. Your only focus is on your deep breaths. Breathing in any way that works for you, whether that's staying with your deep belly breaths or allowing your breath to slowly fill up your lungs, moving all the way up to the top of your lungs. You may even feel your clavicle start to lift up. Do what's right for you, so long as your breath is deep, even, and smooth. Slowly return to your natural breath. If you're seated, come to lying flat on your mat. Take a moment here. Feel the ground beneath you. Slowly begin to extend your arms overhead. Stretch out through your toes. Come into a big morning stretch. Take a few breaths here. Allow your fingers and toes to pull in opposite directions. Find length in your spine. And slowly begin to walk your heels over towards the right. Maybe cross that left ankle over your right ankle. Take a breath. Maybe begin to walk your hands over towards the right, finding that nice lateral side bend. Breathe here. If you begin to feel any pain in that left shoulder, just bring your hand down by your hip. Take a few deep breaths here. Slowly begin to walk yourself back to center. Find that big morning stretch. Then walk your heels over towards the left, maybe crossing that right ankle over the left. Take a breath. Gently walk your hands over towards the left if that feels good for your body. Finding that lateral side bend on the right side. Honor your body, make any adjustments you need to find your comfortable position. Walk your hands and feet back to center and gently hug both knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a nice little hug here. Maybe stay in stillness. Maybe take a gentle rock back and forth. And come to stillness. Bring your hands to your knees and slowly draw your knees apart. Take a moment here. Maybe apply slight pressure to the inside of your knees with your hands. Begin to feel the stretch in your groin and inner thigh. Take a few breaths. Your feet can be soft, maybe slightly flexed. Take a few deep breaths here. Gently close your knees together. Give yourself a nice little hug. In whatever way works for you, make your way to a seated position. Sit up nice and tall. Ground down through your sits bones. Allow yourself a moment to adjust to your seated position. Tune into your breath. Place your hand by your right hip. Slowly extend your left arm overhead. Take an inhale. And on your exhale, slowly tilt over towards the right. Take a breath. Slowly return to center. Lower your left hand by your hip. Lift your right arm overhead. Inhale. Exhale, tilt towards the left. Stay for a breath. Gently make your way back to center. Lower your right hand down. Inhale and exhale. Slowly lift your arms overhead. Turn towards the right and lower your hands down. Your left hand can come to your right knee if you like. Gently gaze over your right shoulder. Find your twist. Breathe here. Slowly return to center. Take a breath. Begin to lift your arms overhead. Slowly turn towards the left. Lower your hands down. Your right hand can come to your left knee. Gaze over your left shoulder. Find your twist. Slowly come back to center. Take a breath. And make your way onto your hands and your knees, coming in to tabletop. Let your wrists be in line with your shoulders. Knees are in line with your hips. Take a breath here. Find your neutral spine or flat back. And then gently begin to walk your hands out in front of you and lower your forehead or your chin to the mat, coming into puppy dog pose. Take a few breaths here. Slowly come back to tabletop. Take a breath. Inhale, lift your right arm overhead. Exhale, thread your right hand under your body. Let the top of your hand come to rest on the mat. Let your right cheek come to rest on the mat. Take a breath here. Slowly lift yourself back up. Lift that right arm overhead, taking that big stretch, and then lower your right hand down, coming back to tabletop. Find that neutral spine. Take a breath. Lift your left arm overhead. Exhale, thread that left hand under your body. Let the top of your hand rest on the mat. Left cheek comes to rest on the mat. Take a few breaths here. Slowly rise back up. Lift that left arm overhead. Take the stretch. And lower your left hand down, coming back to your tabletop. Find your breath. Plant your palms. Point your fingers, point towards the top of your mat. Your fingers are spread out wide. Wrists are in line with your shoulders. Tuck your toes under. Lift your hips up and back. Make your way into your down dog. Maybe pedal your feet here. Take a moment to explore. Feel your mat beneath your palms. Take a few breaths. Come to stillness. Inhale, lift your right leg high in the air. Exhale, step your right foot to the top of the mat. Bend your left knee, step your left foot up to meet your right, and fold forward. Inhale, hands to shins, spine long, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, circle sweep arms to sky. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Take a breath. Inhale, reach your arms overhead. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, hands to shins, spine long, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms, step your right foot back. Take a breath. Step back to high plank. You may lower your knees here if you'd like. Engage your core, engage your quads, press down through your palms, and slowly lower all the way down to the mat. Untuck your toes, press down through the tops of your feet, lift your heart off the mat, come into cobra. Lower your heart down, tuck your toes under, press back to down dog. Take a full cycle of breath here. Inhale, lift your left leg high in the air. Exhale, step your left foot to the top of the mat. Bend your right knee, step your right foot up to meet your left, fold forward. Inhale, hands to shins, spine long, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, circle sweep arms to sky. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Take a breath. Inhale, reach your arms overhead. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, hands to shins, spine long, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms, step your left foot back, come into low lunge. Step back to plank. Lower your knees if you like. Take a breath and lower down. Untuck your toes, press down through the tops of your feet, lift your heart off the mat, come into cobra. Lower down, tuck your toes under, press back to down dog. Take a full cycle of breath. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale, lift your right leg high in the air. Exhale, step your right foot to the top of the mat. Bend your left knee, step your left foot up to meet your right, fold forward. Inhale, hands to shins, spine long, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, circle sweep arms to sky. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Take a breath. Inhale, reach your arms overhead. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, hands to shins, spine long, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms, step your right foot back. Press down through your palms, step back to plank. Make any adjustments you need and lower down. Come into cobra or up dog and press back to down dog. Take a full cycle of breath here. Inhale, left leg comes high in the air. Exhale, step your left foot to the top of your mat. Bend your right knee, step your right foot up to meet your left. Fold forward. Inhale, hands to shins, spine long, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, circle sweep, arms to sky. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Stay for a breath. Inhale, lift your arms overhead. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, hands to shins, spine long, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms, step your left foot back. Press back to plank. Make your adjustments and lower down. Come into cobra or up dog and press back to down dog. Take a breath here. Inhale, lift your right leg high in the air. Exhale, step your right foot to the top of your mat. Stay here for a moment in low lunge. Take a moment to adjust and press down through your right foot. Slowly rise up to high lunge. Bend your left knee slightly. Tuck your tailbone under. Make sure your hips are square to the top of your mat. Pull your belly in and up. Let those shoulders melt away from your ears. Reach up through your fingertips. Find your strength here in high lunge. Anchor your left heel down. Sink into your right knee. Lower your arms down to a T. Find warrior two. Gaze over your right fingertips. Flip your front palm. Slowly reverse your warrior. Right arm comes overhead. Gaze up over your fingertips. Slowly return to warrior two. Windmill your hands down to frame your front foot. Spin off your back heel. Bend your left knee. Step your left foot up to meet your right and fold forward. Inhale, hands to shins, spine long, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, circle sweep, arms to sky. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Take a pause here. Notice your feet. Notice the mat beneath your feet. Allow yourself a moment to feel fully rooted to the earth. Sink your hips back. Come into chair. Your hands can stay at heart center. Take a moment here. Find length in your spine. Slowly begin to bring your left elbow to the outside of your right thigh, coming into a chair twist. Check in with your knees. Make sure they're still aligned. Our tendency is to bring our right knee back slightly, so just make sure you adjust. Take a few breaths here. You can keep your hands together at heart center or extend your arms out wide. Your choice, your practice. And slowly release, fold forward. Inhale, hands to shins, spine long. Find your halfway lift. And fold. Inhale, circle sweep, arms to sky. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Take a breath here. Slowly begin to sink your hips back, bend your knees, come into your chair legs. Keep your hands at heart center. Find length in your spine. And slowly bring your right elbow to the outside of your left thigh, finding your twist. Make sure you check in with your knees, that they're in line with each other. Hands can stay at heart center or extend out wide, your choice. Just breathe here. And fold forward, release. Take a breath here. Maybe begin to feel yourself sway from side to side. Bring your hands to your shins. Find your halfway lift. Plant your palms. Step back to plank. You may move through a vinyasa here or press back to down dog. If you're moving through your flow, lower down, come into cobra or up dog, and press back to down dog. Take a breath here. Lift your left leg high in the air. Step your left foot to the top of your mat. Take a moment here in low lunge. Adjust yourself. And press down through that left foot as you slowly rise up into your high lunge. Bend your right knee. Tuck your tailbone under. Square your hips to the top of the mat. Let your shoulders come away from your ears. Breathe here. Anchor your right heel down. Sink into your left knee. Lower your arms down to a T. Gaze over your front fingertips. Come into warrior two. Notice your breath here. See if you can make any adjustments to make your breath even and smooth, even in this difficult pose. Flip your front palm. Slowly reverse your warrior. Slowly rise back up to warrior two. Windmill your hands down to frame your front foot. Spin off your back heel. Bend your right knee. Step your right foot up to meet your left. Fold forward. Inhale, hands to shins, spine long, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, circle sweep arms to sky. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Take a breath here. Step your feet to the outside edges of your mat. You can keep your toes slightly pointing out, kind of like you're coming into yogi squat or malasana, but they don't have to be quite so pointed out. So your heels are just slightly in. Bring your hands to heart center. We're going to come into a sumo squat. So you're going to lower your hips down and back. Bend your knees. We're kind of coming into chair legs. Our legs are just separated. Keep your hands at heart center. Find length in your spine. Take a few breaths here. Bring your arms out to a T if you have space. Take a breath here. Try to keep your back nice and straight. And then slowly begin to lift your right arm overhead. Lower your left hand to the inside of your left foot. Find a twist. Take a breath. You can stay here, or you have the option to take a bind, bringing that right hand behind your back, and that left hand comes to meet it under your thigh. If it works for you, if it feels forced, just come back to this twist. Take a few breaths. Keeping your legs bent, see if you can lift back up to that T position with your arms out to the sides. And then begin to straighten your legs, bring your hands to your hips. Take a breath. That's hard work. Good work. Take one more breath here. Bring your hands to heart center. Slowly begin to sink your hips back, coming back into your sumo squat. Keep your back nice and straight. Extend your arms out to a T. Take a breath here. And slowly begin to lower your right hand to the inside of your foot. Left arm comes overhead, finding that twist. Again, you have the option to stay here or bring your left hand behind your back, right hand under your thigh, and take a bind. Wherever you are, stay for 2 breaths. Slowly, with your legs bent, see if you can rise back up. Bring your arms out to a T. Bring your hands to your hips. Slowly straighten your legs. Take a breath. Heel toe your feet to hip distance. Bring your hands to heart center. Close your eyes for a moment. Notice your breath. See if you can use the power of your breath to deepen and slow each inhale and exhale. Inhale, lift your arms overhead. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, hands to shins, spine long, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms, step back to plank. You may press right back to down dog or move through your vinyasa. Lowering down, coming into cobra or up dog, and pressing back to down dog. Take a full cycle of breath here. Gaze up at your hands. Step or float to the top of your mat and find your forward fold. Inhale, come into a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, circle sweep arms to sky. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Separate your feet to hip distance. If you need a marker, it's your 2 fists between your 2 big toe knuckles. Take a breath here. Allow all 4 corners of your feet to be fully planted in the mat. Inhale, lift your right arm overhead. Find length in your spine and slowly tilt towards the left. Take a breath here. Slowly come back to center. Lower your right hand down. Lift your left arm overhead. Find length in your spine and gently tilt over towards the right. Take a breath. Slowly come back to center. Shift your weight into your left foot. Bend your right knee behind you. You're bringing your heel towards your right glute. Reach your right hand behind you. Grab the inside of your right foot. Take a breath here. Press down through your left foot. Lift your left arm overhead. Find a focal point. You may stay here or you can come into dancer's pose. Kick your right hand into your palm. Bring your left hand out in front of you. Take a few breaths here. Slowly rise back up. Release your right foot. Bring your left hand down. Take a breath. Shift your weight into your right foot. Bend your left knee. Bring your heel towards your glute. Reach around, grab for the inside of your foot. Lift your right arm overhead. Really press down through that right foot. Find your balance. You may stay here or kick that left foot into your palm as you tilt forward, coming into your dancer. Take a few breaths. Bring your gaze to a spot that's not moving. It will help you with your balance, helping focus your attention. Slowly rise up. Lower your left foot down and your right hand down. Coming back to mountain pose. Take a breath here. Lift your arms overhead. Let your palms touch. Gaze up over your thumbs. Lower your hands down through heart center as you fold forward. Take a breath here. Bring your hands to your shins. Find a halfway lift. Plant your palms, step back to plank. You may move through one last vinyasa or we will meet in down dog. Lowering down, coming into cobra or up dog, and meeting back in down dog. Take a breath here. Lower your knees down to the mat, come into tabletop. Take a breath here. Lower onto your seat. Bring your knees and feet out in front of you. Take a moment here, root down through your sitting bones. Find your breath. Extend your arms out in front of you, bringing them parallel to the mat. You can keep them here, or if you'd like added support, you can place them on the back of your hamstrings. We're gonna lower down to a count of 10. So I want you to engage your core as we slowly lower to the mat. Don't wanna just plop down. So on a count of 10, we're gonna go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And release. Take a breath. Walk your heels in towards your glutes. You have a few options here. We're going to move into bridge. You can take a restorative bridge if you'd like to place a block under your sacrum, or you can move into wheel if that is in your practice. Take a breath here. If you're following along with me, make sure your ankles are in line with your knees. Your hands are down by your hips. Press down through the soles of your feet. Lift your hips off the mat. Engage your glutes. Squeeze them as you lift your hips towards the sky. Take a few breaths here. Stay for one more deep breath. Slowly lower your hips back to the earth. Hug both knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a nice hug here. Maybe even a nice squeeze as you rock side to side. Lower your hands down by your hips. Extend both feet overhead, coming into legs up the wall. You may stay here or move into the inversion of your choice. If you want to stay here but go with more, you can lift your arms overhead, coming into dead bug. Stay with me for 5 more slow, deep breaths. Gently release out of your inversion and hug your knees into your chest. Take a breath here. Slowly lower your feet to the mat. Hands come down by your hips. Extend your right leg high in the air. Bend your right knee. Place your right ankle on the top of your left knee or thigh, finding your reclined figure 4 legs. You may stay here or lift that left foot off the mat. Clasp your hands behind your left hamstring and come into reclined figure 4. Take a few deep breaths here. Stay for 2 more deep breaths. Release your hands out to a T, palms down, shoulders rooted, and slowly let your legs fall over towards the left, coming into a supine twist. You may stay here, or if this twist isn't suiting you, take any twist you would like. Notice your breath here. Allow your breath to become even, smooth, and slow. Draw your legs back to center. Place your right foot on the mat. Take a breath here. Slowly extend your left leg high in the air. Bend your left knee. Place your left ankle on the top of your right knee or thigh. Find your reclined figure four legs. You may stay here or lift that right foot off the mat. Clasp your hands behind your right hamstring and settle in to your reclined figure four. Take a few deep breaths. Stay with me for 2 more breaths. Release your hands out to a T, palms down, shoulders rooted, and slowly let your legs fall over towards the right. You may stay here in this twist or take any twist that serves you. Take a few slow, deep breaths here. Slowly draw your legs back to center. Lower your left foot to the mat. Take a pause here. Hug both knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a nice little hug. You may stay here. You may rock side to side. You may reach around, grab for the outside edges of your feet and come into happy baby. Or you can take any pose you would like to complete your practice. Take a few more moments here. Do anything you need to prepare yourself for relaxation. And when you're ready, make your way into your Shavasana, finding a comfortable position that's going to allow you to relax and let go. When you settle in, flip your palms, take a moment to notice your breath, notice your body, notice the mat and earth supporting your body. Soften your feet. Relax your ankles. Soften your shins and your calves. Relax your knees. Soften your thighs and your hamstrings. Relax your glutes. Soften your fingers. Relax your wrists. Soften your forearms. Relax your elbows. Soften your upper arms. Relax your lower back. Soften your upper back. Relax your shoulders. Soften your neck. Relax your face. Soften your jaw and your tongue. Relax your eyes. Soften the space between your eyes. Let go. Just breathe. Slowly start to deepen your breath. Invite movement into your body. Maybe begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. When you're ready, very slowly and mindfully make your way up to a seated position. Close your eyes. Bring your hands to heart center. Take one last moment here to feel yourself fully rooted down and supported by the earth. Notice your breath. Take a moment to honor yourself for showing up for your practice. Thank you very much for sharing your practice with me. Namaste.